All right, Corey, thank you. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us now. Damon, we've had 3 DMV first warn days in the last 6 or 7 days, and we're battle tested, but it's still a challenge.
Exactly, and it almost feels like it's Groundhog Day already with how many times we've had to do this. But yeah, unfortunately, we have more weather effects on the way with yet another powerful storm system moving across the DMV. Clouds, they've already increased. It's overcast already over Hagerstown as we speak, and then back toward the district, those high clouds are starting to pop up over the skyline there in Roslyn as well. But the good news is, folks, as you go about your lunch hour and into the early afternoon, we are keeping things dry. There's that cloud cover, though, that I was just showing on the live cameras. We had a very sunny start to the morning, but very quickly we have brought in the leading edge of this storm system and the cloud cover that comes along with it. So we will not see any sunshine really through the rest of the day as this storm system continues to get closer. High pressure is pulling away as that storm system arrives. Rain has already spread out across the Ohio River Valley. Snow can be found more to the north as you approach the Great Lakes. We are not going to be dealing with any of the wintry side of this system. We're mostly concerned about that rainfall and wind on the heels of Tuesday's storm when we saw over 2 inches of rain for most of the DMV. Now here we go. Through the next few hours, nothing to worry about, but by 4 o'clock, that is when this storm system begins to arrive, with rain starting across the Shenandoah Valley and the I-81 corridor. By 5 to 6 p.m., right during the peak of that evening rush hour, we will see that rain overspread the I-95 corridor and the D.C. Metro, and starting closer to 6, if not 7 p.m., that's when these pockets of steadier to heavy rainfall, shown here in the yellow, become a little bit more common. And that is the start of the worst of this storm system for a few-hour period. During the early overnight hours, heading on toward 8, 9 p.m., we'll be dealing with those heaviest pockets of rainfall, and also the wind will be picking up at the same time. 10 o'clock, we're still seeing some of that rain lingering about, but by the time we hit midnight tonight, folks, the rainfall with this system will be coming to an end. So if there's one good thing as compared to what we dealt with on Tuesday, this storm system is much quicker to get out of here, and we will only see the worst of this storm system for about 3 to 4 hours. And then look at how clear we are going to turn things around on Saturday there, as we should have at least drier conditions, not necessarily calmer with the wind sticking around, but hey, we'll take what we can get. Now, there are those rainfall totals, again, much lower than what we saw on Tuesday. Most of us will only end up with about 3/4 of an inch of rain, but any isolated pockets over an inch of rain, that is all it's going to take to see some isolated flooding issues, especially closer to the metro areas, the I-95 corridor. So we have to keep an eye out for that. The flood threat is much lower than what we saw on Tuesday, but it is still a threat nonetheless as we move forward here. Now, the main effect of this storm system that we will be dealing with, not just this evening, but straight into the entire weekend, it is going to be the wind. We'll see that wind pick up through the afternoon here, going into the early evening. Not too bad with these wind gusts, but once we hit 6, 7 p.m., we start to see some isolated pockets out there. Wind gusts will be picking up, approaching 40 to 55 miles an hour in localized areas, especially along some of the higher terrain out toward the Shenandoah Valley around 8 p.m. And then that peak bit of wind will be moving toward the DMV metro areas and I-95 corridor, with those gusts again still holding on to around 40 to 55 miles per hour before calming down a little bit going into the day on Saturday. But even then, we are going to remain blustery through your Saturday and Sunday as temperatures drop. And as we head toward next week, that colder air is going to be our main concern, with highs in the 20s and 30s. But in the meantime, we'll deal with this rain and wind out there today first.